chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls out there. I often, I don't often talk about the dynamics of having children with narcissists because I don't actually have children myself, right? And the thing that I want you to know is not only if you have children with narcissists, but generally any of you that have been through narcissistic abuse, I want you to feel empowered and know that you are the expert in your situation. Yes, you may be in the midst of confusion. Yes, you may have watched our content on this channel or the spiritual channel or plenty of other content creators, and what I need you to know is you are the expert from your given experience. Although collectively all of you chosen ones, empaths and genuine souls, have been through narcissistic abuse, it varies slightly in each of your given scenarios. It varies, it does. And I want you to know and feel empowered that if you have seen the traits, the signs, the red flags, and you're waking up to narcissistic abuse, you are the expert, and you will grow in wisdom more and more and more and more. But today I thought about a session I held some time ago now. It was when I first started the YouTube content creation journey, and there was a gentleman I'd done a session with, and he said I could share his story. He actually emailed me recently, and gave me a catch up about how he's doing well in life now and things like that. And no, I'm not trying to plug sessions saying it's me. It was the strength within him, and he was applying what he read from books or what he learned from content creation or what he learned from our channel here, and he applied it to his own journey, and he become very empowered. And he gave me a follow-up email, and basically what I want you to know is what the narcissist that was involved in his life was doing is he used to work, I think, a night shift. Yes, it was a night shift, and he was being devalued by the narcissist for the last 2 years of the relationship, such as the narcissist withdrawing from intimacy, just being cold, withdrawing from intimacy, treating him like crap, devaluing him really badly, right? And it was going through the divorce proceedings, and I just thought I'd share this insight because it come to me. It reminded me when he emailed me about this, and I thought I should touch on it for those of you that do perhaps have children with narcissists involved in your life. And even though he's a man, okay, you can extract wisdom from this if you are a female. And narcissists are narcissists, whether they are male or female. Narcissists are narcissists, right? And what this narcissist involved in his life done to him was basically made him do everything, okay? Like, they'd separated, they were going through the divorce proceedings, which she initiated, his wife, and she was denying him overnight visitations with his child, okay? But the thing, catch this, right? The thing is, he used to drop the child to school in the morning, pick the child up from school, so he would get the child ready, do all of those things, but she would deny him any overnight stays because she said his parents' house wasn't suitable, okay? And I held one-to-one sessions with him, and there was nothing wrong with his house or whatever. Like, it was just pure BS, right? There wasn't any danger. His parents weren't any danger. It wasn't like that. He had elderly parents. There wasn't any problem. It was just purely the narcissist trying to because the narcissist wasn't involved in his life, wasn't getting her own way, even though she was the one who initiated the divorce. She wasn't getting her own way in the relationship, and that's why they tried to hurt you through their children. So what I want you to extract from this is narcissists will try to hurt you through their children, through your children together. They will do this, all right? I've heard of narcissists even being jealous of their own children's birthdays. Okay? Actual narcissists are jealous of their own children's birthdays. When they're at a party with their children, they're feeling envious towards their child and jealous of their child. That's how deranged and bizarre these dusty creatures really are, all right? And what I want to say is, like, he done everything for the child. He'd even learned how to plait hair. He even learned how to cane row hair. He would cane row and plait his child's hair. He done everything. And the thing is, I actually held quite a few sessions with him, so I saw him over a period of time, from the distraught place he was initially to how he become more and more strengthened. And no, it's not me, right? It's God or the universe or him himself, right? He becomes so strengthened and becomes so, like, from learning from his own experience and being able to see, this is what I need you to incorporate. When a narcissist is trying to hurt your feelings, try to look at things from a bird's eye view, or like I like to say, look beneath the veil, right? Look beneath the veil of what they're really doing these motives or agendas for, okay? Now, this, he ended up one day, I'll cut the long story short, they were going through the divorce proceedings. The narcissist involved in his life was prolonging the divorce proceedings, the paperwork for the divorce proceedings. And one day he was driving past and he saw a man coming out of her house, right? So he confronted the situation and she said, oh, he's fixing the TV. And it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And like he didn't go ballistic or anything, but he was like, that's bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, who's fixing the TV at 11 o'clock at night? And anyway, he basically just drilled her, like, told her about herself, and she was like, where are you getting this strength from? She noticed this strength in him and she couldn't put her finger on it, where she's getting this strength from. Anyway, it resulted in the narcissist. What I'm saying is, this is over a long period of time, right? I wasn't doing sessions with him for a couple of years, no, but it's from the devaluation over a couple of years to when I was doing sessions, you know, through the divorce proceedings prior to their divorce. And she crumbled. She eventually crumbled. And that's why I'm saying, a lot of the times I talk about, she crumbled and actually said, like, let's meet up and let's talk about this. And she tried to get him back in her life, right? And this is the thing. Oftentimes you hear me talk about hoovers and things like this, and you might be in a position with a child. You could be a single mother or you could be a single father, and you might be saying, hey, Zion, like, why isn't the narcissist involved in my life hoovering? Why aren't they hoovering? Why aren't they baiting? Why aren't they doing these things? And I want you to understand that the narcissist more often than not, will try to punish you through your children. So this could be, if you're a single mother or father, they're denying, just like this gentleman's scenario. She was denying him overnight visitations. They might, not be there for their child, right? And they know that's hurting you. They know that's how they get into you. And like, what I'm saying is, you don't necessarily have to be the one who cut the narcissist off. The narcissist could have cut you off, right? But still, they still want to hurt you by getting to you through their children. Because what it is they wasn't getting their own way in the relationship. And they thought, okay, I'm going to cut you off now, and then I'm going to hurt you through the child. And they don't see the sense that they're actually traumatizing their child by not being an influence in their life. Okay? Or for example, if you cut the narcissist involved in your life off, and then they started being, not being there for their child or being wishy-washy or things like this. This is what I'm trying to say. They will try to hurt you through your children. All right? This is how deviant and disgusting parasites they really are. Okay? And this is what they do. Okay? This is what narcissists involved in your life do. All right? And the thing is, I want you to understand, try to see through it. Don't let it hurt you. All right, because they're hurt. Like, really, in the long run, they're shooting themselves in the foot. All right, your child will, if you've got young children, perhaps. I always advise you, if you've got young children, to do parallel parenting, because you can't co-parent with a narcissist. It's not possible. You can't co-parent with a narcissist. I don't think it's possible, right? And I've heard of people doing parallel parenting and it's worked wonders for them. And that's communicating through an app. And I believe the app is monitored. And you meet in a neutral location to exchange a child and things like that. So it can be very beneficial for some of you, and especially if you've got young children, it may be very beneficial for you. But just going back to that gentleman's story, please like, share, and subscribe. Just going back to that gentleman's story, the narcissist, crumbled, tried to let him back in, tried to get back in his life, and he rejected her, but basically he finally got his chance to have overnight stays, and like him and his daughter eating popcorn on the weekend. And I think she was in kindergarten or nursery. We call it nursery here in the UK, but kindergarten if you're in the US, right? I think it's kindergarten. I think that's the same thing as nursery. I think. If I'm wrong, put it in the comment section. But he finally got his overnight visitations, and that's all he wanted, to chill out, make some food, watch a movie with his daughter, have some popcorn, and have those things, because he was doing everything. Okay, he was picking, taking the daughter to school, taking her back to his house, looking after her, making her tea, making her dinner, looking after her, put her in the bath, washing her, getting her prepped for school tomorrow, plaiting her hair or doing her hair, things like this. This is the thing, okay? And like a lot of there's toxic women, there's toxic men, but I would say my mom died when I was young, right? When I was 7, okay? And I was raised by my dad, and I've seen how much of a positive influence my dad's been in my life, okay? Because a lot of my friends and associates and things when I was younger had single mums, okay? And their dads weren't in their lives and things like that. And, I just want you to know it's not right when parent, mother or father, is not being involved in their children's lives. And I want you to know it's a huge agenda to hurt your feelings, all right? And some of you might this is why some of the content might not resonate with you. I just thought of it today because I don't often talk about children because I don't have children. And you, like I said, I've heard having a child is you think you know what it's like to have a child until you have a child, right? That's what I've heard. So I don't want to speak on stuff that I'm not an expert on, or not an expert, but I don't know. You see what I mean? But I've learned through his experience, this gentleman who I had a one-to-one session with, and I learned through his experience, and he did tell me I could share it with the community, to help others. And he did give me a follow-up email recently, and he said, the narcissist isn't doing any games, she's backed off, he has overnight visitations, he hasn't moved on in a relationship, he hasn't gone back with her, he hasn't moved on in another relationship, he hasn't gone back with her, and he hasn't gone back with her, and he's enjoying life now. Life's got so much better, and he thanked me, and I said, no, it's all the strengths in you, blah blah. I told him it's all you, the strengths in you, you got really, and that's what I want you to understand. Don't let these narcissists that are involved in your life, see through the veil, all right? They will try to hurt you through your children. They will not be there for their children. They will not do things for their children that, they should do. They should be there for their children. They should be this, whether male or female, they should be there for their children, all right? And you got to understand it's a motive and an agenda to hurt you. And this could be abandonment, this could be ghosting, this could be leaving you alone with your child or something like that. They're doing this to hurt you, right? They want to put you in a vulnerable position, a very, very difficult, vulnerable position, to where you're willingly going to accept the type of abuse that you wasn't tolerating throughout the relationship. And that's the thing. You might say, but hey, Zion, I was tolerating abuse. Yes, you may have been, but there was certain resistance and there was a level of resilience in you to where they couldn't get you to the position that they wanted you to be in. They wanted to exploit you more. They wanted to gaslight you more. They wanted to control you more. And you had resilience. Whether you look at it as God protecting you, the universe protecting you, karma, whatever, you were being protected. It is divine. And you have to trust in the process that this is going to backfire on them by them not being there for their children. Okay? So like, don't. This is what they'll do. All right, they'll go off and glorify. Like, I've heard of narcissists not being there for their own children and then being there for children that are not theirs. All right, going off and pretending they're living their best life with someone's children that's not theirs when they can't even provide and be there for their own children. All right, and you can see this is an agenda to hurt you. Please be conscious. All right, I know I'm going on quite a bit in case some of you are phasing out, but please be conscious. They have an awareness, like you do have that connection of having a child together, and they use, I don't know the right word to use it, not porn, but they use the child as a vessel to hurt you. They use it to hurt you. They try to hurt you through the child. All right, and that's what their agenda and their motive is. All right, and whether that's totally abandoning you, leaving you alone, financially abusing you, ghosting you, doing all sorts of things, they will do this with no regard towards their child whatsoever. Fully well knowing that it's hurting you, And I want you to be patient. All right, I know you might think that it's hard to do. I know, but try to be patient, because just like that gentleman who I had the session with, he persisted in empowering himself, in healing, in growing stronger, to the point where the narcissist crumbled. All right, and that's basically what the narcissists that are involved in your life, whether they're with a new supply, whether they're playing happy family somewhere else, whether they're doing all of that. They've got a vengeance against you, and they don't get over you. All right. So what I want you to understand is, by you having a child, the Hoovers won't necessarily come maybe in a certain way as it may do if you don't have children. All right, because they know they've got some sort of control over you, and they'll try to hurt you through your children, and that's going to hurt you worse. You see, because they're bringing pain towards your child's life, someone who you deeply care about, your child, your offspring. And they know they're hurting you through that child. And that's what's fueling them. That's how sick and sadistic and deranged they really are. Okay? That's how messed up they really are. And like I said, I've heard of narcissists involved in people's lives going on and playing happy families with children that are not theirs, and they're not even raising their own, they're not supporting their own, they're not doing anything for their own. You know what I'm saying? And this is what it is, right? So, like, as I said, I'm not a parent, You've got expertise that I haven't got yet, right? In your field, like in your expertise of being a parent. But I've grown up with my dad, and I've seen what my dad's done for me in his life, and the way he supported me and my sister through my life, and helped me. And he done a good job of, I believe he done a good job. He doesn't give himself the praise, but I believe I can see how he done a good job with me through his life, and still to this day, like, he helps me, So I want you to just embrace that these narcissists will deliberately sabotage in any way, shape or form. They will sabotage a relationship with their child just to fucking annoy you, to frustrate you, to grate on you, to cause you pain, to cause you upset, to cause you hurt, to hurt your fucking heart. You know what I mean? To scar your heart. They're weirdos. And like, you got to understand that a genuine person, a real person, an authentic person, an empath like you, a chosen one, isn't going to do those types of things. Even if the mother and the father had a disagreement about the child and they went their separate ways, they would co-parent for the child's best interests, and that's the way things will work. But with narcissists involved in your life, it will get very, very complicated, very, very confusing, okay? And embrace what's happening. Please take a backward step, look beneath the veil, and see that this whole agenda, okay, is based on you. The whole thing they're doing, not being there for their child, or abandoning you, or ghosting you, or financially abusing you, or doing things, or playing happy families with someone else's children, or things like that, it's all to hurt you. They are preoccupied with you, they are focused on you, and you could have been the one that was discarded. This is what I'm saying. You could have been the one that was discarded. They're trying to put you in a vulnerable position to where you beg for them back, to where you feel in a place that you can't, get through life without them, and you need them back. All right. And if you go down that route, and you actually do go down that route and say, hey, like, I need you back in my life, they might even possibly reject you just to hurt you even further. Right. So I advise all of you to look into parallel parenting. I think it's the best approach. Meeting in a neutral location, communicating through an app, okay? Or you could communicate through email. Like, I believe you should, after these relationships end, I don't believe these narcissists, even though you have a child together, there's other forms of communication. I don't think they should necessarily have your number, okay? I don't think you should necessarily communicate through the phone, okay? And another thing that I would advise you to do is don't ask them any questions, okay? Like, say the narcissist involved in your life is they're not doing something that your child's parent, the child's parent, the narcissist involved in your life, is not doing what you want for your child, and they're not doing something towards you. Don't ask them, why are you not doing this? Are you going to do this? Or speak in a statement, okay? Say something like, just speak in a statement, not a question, right? And learn to master speaking in statements towards them, okay? Like, you've got to communicate with these people like it's a fucking game of chess. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to think 3 steps ahead, right? So you could say to them, you haven't done A, B, and C. I believe you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you haven't done this. I believe you should do, right? Instead of saying, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? It puts you at mercy of their response. That's what I'm trying to get at. When you ask a narcissist involved in your life a question, you're at mercy of their response. And that goes for the general rule of thumb in life. When you ask anyone a question, you're at mercy of their response. Just like if you send someone a text and you ask them a question, are you okay? And they don't respond to you, right? If you send someone a text and say, I hope you're okay, you're not demanding a response. You don't need to hear back from them. If they don't respond to you, or they ignore you, or they give you silent treatment, you've just said, I hope you're okay. Now, I know none of you are probably going to message the narcissist involved and you're like, I hope you're okay. I'm just giving that as an example, okay? A friend, for example. Instead of are you okay? I hope you're okay. That slight difference, I hope you're okay, is a statement, and it's powerful, and it keeps the power in you, in your frame. You stay in your frame, okay? So I hope this helps. As I said, remember, you've been through narcissistic abuse. You're an expert on your given situation. I know you listen to the content and you apply, unless this is your first video here, but you apply it to your own life, okay? But you are the expert, all right? You have the wisdom, and I want you to feel empowered, all right? You're not given the credit that you deserve for everything you've been through. Remember that you don't deserve to be going through what you're going through. It's an unfortunate circumstance and a very confusing circumstance that you've actually had children of a narcissist involved in your life. But it has happened, okay? I'm not saying you deserve to be going through it, but trust the process. Things will work out in your favor. I've seen things in my own life that had no intentions of benefiting me in the world, right? I've done things and deeds that I never thought would come back into fruition into my own life. And I promise you that not overnight, but with time, through time, it's not that time heals, but through time, you will start to see how things work out in your favor. Whether you call it God's plan, the universe's plan, whatever you want to call it, okay? A divine process. Trust the process. That's what you've got to master. Trust in the process, speaking in statements, and understand that these narcissist parasite, dusty weirdos want to deliberately hurt you so bad that they are willing to hurt their own children just to hurt you. So anyway, thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. You may donate or support to the channel if you want to. Check out the spiritual channel for more content. My podcast is now on Spotify. All links you need are in the description box below. If you would like access to over 100 exclusive videos, daily uploads and custom video requests, join my membership program at zionmembership.com. Links also in the description box below. There's a 3-day free trial and you can cancel at any time. All content is made by me with no ties to any organisation or university. Your support truly keeps us going. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.